Aloha everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Marissa Indigo, founding director of Divine DNA Blueprint Mystery School, welcoming you. And we are discussing the September energies. We're actually finally able to put this out on September 19th. So we are in the equinox portal and getting ready for the eclipse season. Essentially, just a few days ago, Mercury went out of retrograde and went direct. So we're finally now able to come out of receiver mode and come into transmitter mode and share with you. So with this being a month of so many planets retrograde, we've had 6 planets and then 5 planets retrograde on and off. And it's really our entire life, our entire existence, our entire identity, everything of how we look at reality. Every aspect of our consciously and unconsciously relating, projecting, interpreting our reality is under review. That's the entire month of September. And a lot of us, I think, have been feeling that and observing that. All of those words, review, revise, revisit, remember, big one. And so really, it's tricky now with the energies because what we're receiving is just a total bleed through, a blending of the final 3 months of 2023. That we're going to continue to go on this accelerated intensification. And it feels like everything that is out of alignment or that is distorted is under a magnifying glass for us, which is intense because it seems to be just nonstop going through processes without a lot of breaks in between. And you could be balancing multiple deprogramming phases at a time. It's very intense. The number 9 of September, traditionally, we've always talked about, it's about the completion codes. And I wrote an article a few years ago for this month, channeling the month of September, the energies, what's present in the seasons, the seasonal shift, right, from summer into autumn, so elementally. But the number 9 is all about completion. And so this month, I'm sure many of us have felt the intense rigorousness of this. This has got to go. Yeah, we're done with that. This is expired. You got to let it go. Just over and over. And we've been more internal with that entire process as well. So all of this is a massive excavation of self, a simplification of self, kind of more of a ease into the soul essence of our being as we just release so much, and see where we wasted a lot of energy with this belief or different things. It's becoming a lot more of a focus on the subtle and the metaphysical experience of interrelating on an energetic level to our reality, to our creation, our self, our connection to source, our relationships, our abundance, everything. Everything is going to continue to be under review, and the best nugget I can share on how to navigate this, I have a lot of tools to support you to navigate this process. The True North Compass will really assist you in getting to know yourself through a variety of amazing activations of soul through different systems like numerology, Western tropical zodiac astrology, Mayan galactic star system. It's using your birth date, basically. All these systems, very different and from different cultures and time periods. But these 5 systems that are part of this gifted ebook give you glimpses of your multiple divine blueprints. And it starts to support you in the deprogramming from just the human way and the old conditioned ways of looking at yourself, but bringing in more of your mystical qualities and your divine nature and sacred mission. Just a lot of expansion into a much more multidimensional experience, different gifts and abilities and memories, and all kinds of things start to come when we expand our glimpses of self. And that's what the entire rest of the year is about. It's about holding on to the authentic truth. And in each moment, does this feel aligned or not aligned? And doing our best to just work with frequency and allowing the emotional purges, but not allowing the decisions and the consciousness of choice points to come from emotional reactivity. It has to come from the deep well of inner peace, of connected to your I am or your soul, higher self, authentic self, higher power, whatever you want to call your connection to infinite intelligence. So this entire purge is this rebirth. We're getting our footing in the new paradigm. And just remembering that every day we have to choose who we are, how we will respond and act or not act, bringing full consciousness. There's that kind of microscope, feeling like you're under the magnifying glass, having that soul-aligned integrity and deep, pure, divine love and kindness and love in your heart. So living with with an open heart, from an open heart. And every time it clamps up or you've noticed it's shut somehow, open it again. That's how we're going to navigate through the energy, through the frequency, because the heart is the filter to get accurate information, rather than processing and, maybe pulling something from the past that happened and saying, oh, this is that. We have to allow the situation to unfold and to digest the energy as it's happening in live time. This is part of that live stream capability of being a light being of consciousness and energy in a physical form. You're using the heart consciousness to feel through, does this feel aligned? Does this feel good to my heart? Does this feel like love and kindness and expansion and kind of an infinite, like, oh, this could really continue to go in a wonderful way? You feel that there's a lot of positivity. It feels right. Also using the body's language for this, the embodiment. It's really about self-sourcing, powerful self-sourcing our own happiness, our own courage, our pure power, and our abundance. So this is a huge deprogramming that's quite gnarly, to pull back from wherever we gave power or authority to anything outside. So, I'll love myself and I'll be worthy enough when, fill in the blank. Using outside circumstances and conditions and interpreting them, and then using that information to devalue the self, rather than source that, to find that within, that abundance within, or that courage within, finding what makes me happy. If nothing outside, is making you happy, it's going to force you to realize, I'm not happy with some things, and that's okay. That is our emotional guidance, our energetic guidance to invite expansion. What would make us more happy? What shifts, what changes? So this is also part of that, the giant purge. And that's what brings us to the 9 and the completion codes, is what's done? What am I done with? And I'm going to allow myself to be done with it, because I feel that it's aligned for my soul and for my evolution to make this decision. And no, I don't know every answer about this decision, but this does feel right to me. So I'm going to trust my guidance system. So there's this mastery here of using all of our tools and every day choosing who to be by using our tools. It's just the completion up level of that number 9 beyond any 9 we've ever had. And I know the 9, all my numbers add to 9, different forms of it, 45, 54, 18. So the 9 is a theme for me. And this has been like, oh my gosh, we have to look and no longer BS ourselves anywhere where we are denying our truth or our freedom or our happiness, and not allowing anything to block that. And so there's a lot of throat chakra opening too, right? With doing our best to consciously communicate with others, communicate with ourselves, our emotions, communicate with our guidance system. So it's all new channels of expanded communication and infinite potential for us. So it's really about cutting off any of the kind of lead weight, dead weight, to what is asking you to float. So it's really about enjoying this kind of swipe, this massive deprogramming of the old identity and the old limitations. And we have to remember that when we talk about living consciously and being a conscious creator being, that's starting to go into the law of attraction. And so, of course, we heartily recommend, we just lovingly, with so much gratitude, recommend the work of Esther Hicks, channeling Abraham and that divine cosmic intelligence, because there's a lot of wonderful audios you can listen to with her explaining to people how to master their emotions as energy. And it's really about being receptive and just balancing. And anytime you have a thought that doesn't serve, seeing the opportunity to deprogram it and counterbalance it with something positive that keeps that energy open for you, right? Rather than just slamming it shut. Because it's our emotions as humans, that's one of our most challenging experiences to get a grip on. And that phrase, get a grip, that's happened a lot as well, because we're really starting to embody information that we have known cognitively for a long time, but now we're putting it into practice. Just remembering it's 80% mindset. We want to get our footing in the new paradigm, and our guidance is showing us how to do that. We're getting invitations, directions, opportunities. So if you're not seeing that, ask, show me what is coming here for me, from my highest, most beautiful aligned timeline, where I'm in alignment with my soul and happiness and abundance, and celebrating this with others. So you want to start inviting in, if you haven't gotten impressions yet that feel solid enough, and enjoy this process as best you can. It's intense, but it's because we are shedding all the old garments of who we no longer are, and therefore pulling all the energy back from all of that. So we're becoming a lot more powerful as we start to kind of crystallize and unify ourselves. This is closing the gap, between where we are and where we want to be. So how does that being that we want to be it? This is closing the gap now, the final 3 months of 2023. So just wanted to do my best to briefly share what we've been seeing and getting, and it's definitely intense. And we hear, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you want to plan for sustainability with your self-care and nutrition, energetic clearing practices, aligning, going out on Gaia. The Tai Chi Gong greatly assists with grounding and expanding, and you're working with infinity. So that's all in the description box. The article to number 9 and the completion codes of 9 also will be a link in the description box. And wanted to share, this week we have the beautiful Light Body and DNA Activation Summit going on New Earth 1. Some of you have asked about light body topics. And this summit, there's so many amazing people talking about the light body. So it's a free summit for you to tune in and enjoy. I'll be speaking on the beautiful activations I've received from the Emerald Ray, and about the Emerald Covenant and what that means for us to trust and really step into and embody our divine missions, like what we're shown to do, what are our dream lives. All of those are the same. They all stack up into one or several expressions or roles that you're excited to start fulfilling now in life, trusting the nudges that you receive from your divine guidance, and wishing you all an amazing experience as a complete rebirth. And another huge code is the chrysalis with this. So my experience, like why I couldn't produce any content for a couple weeks, was we heard you're in the chrysalis. And we would go in and think we were done and then go in again. And it's like being in a pod. And it's just this total, everything you identify with or have a file about is just melting and dissolving into this crystalline plasma. And you're just this liquid in there. And luckily you're held, in a nice little chrysalis pod container. So thank God you're contained, but it's very nebulous and you keep pulling for things to identify with. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. And you have to just surrender, like, I don't know, and I don't get to know. I have to just float here and allow the information to come. I have to soften. And so the other thing is we're moving from the great awakening into the great softening open. That's why the heart-centered wisdom and as the gate, as the bridge is the key. Living in the heart space, living in compassion and awareness and kindness and love and reverence and humility and integrity and sacred respect, and sharing this with others, showing them how if they can't reciprocate, then obviously they're not your people right now. That's okay. So there's this chrysalis phase where everything that was the old identities that were programs, that's all being deprogrammed and melting. And so you don't want to lose yourself in the depths of that floating in that infinite ocean of consciousness. Allow yourself to be reformed, rebuilt, rematerialized by feeling piece by piece and reintegrating yourself. And then from there we emerge onto New Earth with going from the great awakening to now the great softening, and the great softening open, so that we receive our realities and engage with them and interact with them from a unified state now, no longer from fear, but from love. And it's kind of becoming our permanent way of being, and we have to just keep holding ourselves to that standard. So, no small feat, but greatly rewarding, greatly expanding and joyous and uplifting, and always receiving rewards and love and that reciprocation back from source and from the universe in very magical ways, where you get kind of that nod from the universe. I see you. And it's just holding the consistent focus of doing your best and having integrity. So that's September, and really the entire rest of the year energy. Of course, each month coming, there will be more. They all have different frequencies, but this final quarter is just a serious opportunity to just drop it, to deprogram it all, just drop it all. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon for the equinox activation with the solar rishi. They gifted a really amazing embodiment practice, so look out for that soon. Wishing you an amazing experience into your trueness, into your muchness. Much love.